A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 70. My salvation comes from me.
Lesson 70 is teaching you that the help you are looking for is already inside you. When you choose loving and peaceful thoughts, you help yourself feel safe and happy. You do not need to look outside yourself because your true strength and peace come from within.
All temptation is just a way of trying not to believe today's idea.
Special relationships make us think our happiness comes from someone or something outside of us. But the truth is, real happiness and peace can only come from our own minds.
It feels like salvation comes from everything except you. The same seems true for guilt.
The workbook is great because it keeps things simple. The statements are so clear you might not even notice them at first. If you read it again, you may be surprised by how much you missed the first time.
You do not see guilt or salvation as coming from your own mind. But when you realize that guilt is something your mind created, you also see that salvation is there too. Understanding this sets you free.
The ego tries to keep us from finding the answer by making up guilt and blaming others for it. This makes us think the problem is outside us, not in our own minds. We then try to fix things on the outside, but the real problem, choosing to feel separate and guilty, stays hidden.
Accepting today's idea means this: nothing outside of you can save you or give you peace.
Nothing outside of us, not even A Course in Miracles, its author, or God can save us. Only our mind's choice can bring us peace.
It also means that nothing outside of you can hurt you, take away your peace, or upset you.
If one is true, the other must be too, because nothing is outside our minds. No one outside can help or harm us because there is no outside. This is the simple truth of salvation.
Today's idea puts you in charge of the universe because of who you are. You cannot accept this only a little, realizing this is what saves you.
This is not about heaven, but about our minds and the world. We are in charge because we chose it. The one in charge is the decision maker, who can stay in the dream or choose to leave. You cannot accept this role only sometimes. Forgiveness must work all the time, or it does not work at all.
You may not see why knowing guilt is in your mind also means salvation is there too. But God would never place the cure where it cannot help. That is how your mind thinks, but not how God thinks.
Our minds have split the problem from the solution, but God sees it differently. Remembering His love helps us bring the problem back to the solution, which is in our own minds.
He wants you to be healed, so He has kept the source of healing where the need of healing lies.
God does not see you as sick, or He would make this mistake real. The Course uses words we understand, but the truth is that God is always the source of healing. His memory is in our minds, ready to heal.
You have tried to do the opposite by keeping sickness and separating it from healing, no matter how strange or mistaken the attempt.
The ego is not really afraid of God's love, but our power to choose truth instead of it. The real problem is not the ego itself, but our choice to believe in it. The solution is not to change the world or the ego, but to change our minds about them. A Course in Miracles is about this one thing: choosing a new way of thinking. The ego's goal is to keep us feeling special and separate from God, but we can choose differently.
Your purpose was to ensure that healing did not occur. God's purpose was to ensure that it did.
The you Jesus talks about is the part of you that wants to be separate. This goes against God's will, which is that He and His Son are always one.
Today we practice seeing that God's will and ours are the same. God wants us to be healed, and we do not really want to be sick because it makes us unhappy. By accepting this idea, we agree with God. We both want healing, not sickness.
Jesus wants us to see that holding on to anger makes us unhappy. Others may feel it too, but what really matters is ending our own pain. We do not follow A Course in Miracles just because Jesus says so. We do it because we realize nothing else has worked. Only joining with Jesus brings true happiness, uniting our will with God's and healing the separation.
Today we will have 2 longer practice periods, about 10 to 15 minutes each. You can choose when to do them. For the next few lessons, try to pick a time in advance and stick to it as best as you can.
Jesus asks us to add a little structure to our practice. It is a small step, but an important one. His goal is to help us learn to think with Him, so we can let go of the ego and remember God.
Start by saying today's idea and reminding yourself that salvation comes from within you. You can say, "My salvation comes from me." It cannot come from anywhere else. Then close your eyes and think about the times you look for happiness in other people, things, or situations. Realize that salvation was never there. Tell yourself, "My salvation cannot come from any of these things. My salvation comes from me and only from me."
Special relationships make us believe something other than God can make us happy. This exercise helps us see how much we have relied on this idea and how it has caused pain. Realizing this will help us choose what truly brings happiness and peace.
Now we will try again to find the light inside you, where your salvation is. You've been looking for it in the clouds around the light, but it is not there. It is beyond the clouds, shining bright. To reach it, you must go through the clouds first.
To reach the light, we must move past the clouds of illusion. We cannot go straight to heaven. We must first face our fears, anger, and false beliefs. Jesus teaches that true freedom comes from looking at these thoughts and then letting them go. Salvation is not in the world's illusions, but in the light of atonement, always shining in our minds.
Remember that nothing you ever found in the clouds of your imagination lasted or truly made you happy.
We still hope to find happiness in the world, believing our specialness would work if we try harder. This is why A Course in Miracles may seem not to help, but we must keep remembering, nothing in the world can ever truly give us the love and peace we seek.
Since all false ideas of salvation have failed, why stay in the clouds searching for what is not there? Instead, step into the light of true salvation. Find your own way past the clouds. If it helps, imagine me holding your hand and guiding you. This is not just a dream. I am truly with you.
Jesus rarely speaks of himself in the workbook, but here he makes it clear. You cannot pass through the clouds without him. As long as you see yourself as a separate person, you need his help to guide you. Trying to do it alone will not work, just like trying to exist without God did not work. In the end, there is only God. No you, no Jesus, no clouds. But until then, Jesus' help is important.
Today, remind yourself often that your salvation comes from you. Only your own thoughts can slow you down. Nothing outside of you can stop you. You are in charge of your salvation and the world's. Say to yourself, "My salvation comes from me. Nothing outside of me can hold me back. Within me is the world's salvation and my own."
The lesson reminds us that we cannot blame anything outside of us for our struggles. Jesus wants us to remember all day that salvation comes from within. The ego may not like this, but our true self does. Nothing can stop us from returning home, and because we truly want it, we will succeed.
My salvation comes from me. My salvation comes from me. My salvation comes from me.